Welcome to this week's edition of the Dakota Angler 2-Minute Fishing Report. Boy, you talk about a cold front. That thing came through last week, and it definitely made things feel a lot more fallish, if you know what I mean. We've had reports of water temperatures dropping anywhere from 8 to 12 degrees, and that definitely impacted the bite. A couple of the presentations that were working well before the cold front just stopped working. They were marking fish in shallows left and right. And then after the cold front came through, they were no longer to be found in the shallows. They were out in the deeper water. So again, that changed things up and caused people to really change their presentations and really go looking for those active fish by either bottom bouncing or pulling crankbaits. So I wouldn't tell you to give up on those summer presentations yet, because we're not into fall yet, obviously. We're going to start warming back up, and that's going to push those fish back into the shallows again. So keep that in mind. Now, the lakes up in the northeastern part of the state that produce walleyes included Waubay, Bitter, Hazelton, Opitz, Drywood, a few being caught at Goose, Dry Lake by Clark, as well as Indian Springs and North Rush. Down the southeastern part of the state, the lakes that produce walleyes, and that bite kind of got a little bit better with the cooler weather down here, the cooler water temperatures down in the southeast. But those lakes included Dry Lake by Willow Lake, as well as Thompson, Ponset, Whitewood, Sinai, 81 ponds, and a few being caught at Brant, North Island, Madison, and also Twin. And remember, Twin is the trophy lake. Now, the Missouri River bite has also gotten a little bit better, especially Chamberlain South. Guys are catching a few more fish, and not as deep as what they were. But again, Oahe is definitely the place that you want to go. The guys are coming away with some nice quality fish, to say the least. Now, how are people catching the walleye? You know, I would say it's just kind of a whole hodgepodge of different presentations. Again, people are still pulling crankbaits such as the Salmo Hornets, the Berkeley Flicker Shads. People are also bottom bouncing that with slow death, with crawlers, and coming away with some really nice fish, or at least limits of walleyes. And then also a lot of people are snap jigging, and that's really producing some high quality fish. You're really targeting those types of fish, and with the hyper rattle or even the Rapala jigging wrap has been two popular ones. The Moonshine Shiver Minnow has also been working well. So again, keep that in mind. That presentation is only going to get better. And if you've never done it before, make sure you stop by the store and we can show you what you need, the equipment that you need, because you can do it with the rods that you've been using. But again, there's nothing like having a rod that is made for that type of presentation. Now, speaking of baits that have been made for special presentations, the forward-facing sonar baits have been doing really well for people that have forward-facing sonars, obviously. Such as the Berkeley Finisher has really been flying off the shelf. A lot of guys have been using that in tournaments and coming away with nice results in that tournament. As far as the perch bite is concerned around the area, with that cooler weather and cooler water temperatures, that has turned on the bite in a lot of locations, such as Big Stone, Pickerel, a few being caught at Pius, as well as Dry Lake by Willow Lake, Ponset, Thompson, Whitewood, and then also North Island. Hasn't been any big secret on how to catch these fish underneath a bobber. A hook underneath a bobber works really well, a pilky or a Haley, and even the shiny heinies. We talk about it. They produce a lot of fish, whether or not it's walleyes or even perch. So again, that perch bite should only get better from here on out. In this week's version of Todd's Tackle Tips, we're going to talk again this week about rods, because last week we talked about that we have a great selection of trolling rods. There are different companies that we carry all the different trolling rods, whether or not you're talking about a 5-footer or a 14-footer. Now we're going to talk about other technique-specific rods. Those of you that love to bottom bounce, and I'm one of those people, I love to feel the bite, and you can do that with bottom bouncing, and it still allows you to cover plenty of water looking for those active fish. A lot of times people will just grab their old 6'6" stiff rod, it's like fishing with a stick, and you use that to bottom bounce. I'm not going to say you're not going to catch fish with that, but there are now more rods out there that are made specifically for bottom bouncing, and they can be telescopic, they can be one standard length, you name it. But now this year, and just this past week, honestly, Okuma came out with their Deadeye Pro bottom bouncing rod. This is a brand new rod that they come out with, telescopic, 2 different lengths, a 710 as well as an 8.6. A nice light feeling rod. I mean, it's not heavy at all, to say the least. Probably the lightest bottom bouncing rod I've ever honestly felt. And then it's got a very nice light bite tip to it as well. Nice bend to the rod. So you're going to have some great action. And so if you're looking into bottom bouncing, you need to stop by and take a look at these rods. They're a great looking rod, great actions to say the least, also a great price, and they're also on sale. So stop on by, take a look at the Okuma Deadeye Pro bottom bouncing rod. Other rods, such as if you like to do a lot of, let's say, slip bobber fishing, there are rods that are made specifically for slip bobbers. You can have, I know a lot of people like, let's say, 8.6 or a 9-foot, even a 10-foot, even a 12-foot type of rod for slip bobber fishing to help you get out away from the boat. Again, any rod will work with this, but these technique-specific types of rods will make you more effective when the next time you're out on that lake. Also, we've talked about in the report section about snap jigging. We have a number of different rod companies that have rods made specifically for snap jigging, such as if you want a 7.1 medium, a 7.4 medium, 7.6 medium, all great actions, great lengths to allow you to really fine-tune that type of presentation. And that's really what it's really coming down to, is that rod's going to give you that action to the bait that you want it to have to trigger that bite for you. The nice thing about Dakota Angler is that we have all these rods here for you. We don't just sell one rod company as some stores do, some big box stores. We give you plenty of options to choose from. You choose the rod that fits your presentation that you want to do that also fits your budget. So again, we have all kinds of rods here. A lot of them are on sale right now. Stop on by and take a look at the new bottom bouncer rod from Okuma, as well as some of the other rods that we talked about. You will not regret it, to say the least. Now it's time to take a look at a few photos that you sent in to me this past week. And remember, folks, if you'd like your photo included in next week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report, all you have to do is send it to me. And the way you can do that is send it through email at todd@dakotaangler.com or through Facebook Messenger. And as we close out another version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report, I want to remind you to mark your calendars for November 8th through the 10th for the Sioux Falls Arena Convention Center for the Dakota Angler Ice Institute. It's a place that you're going to want to be, folks, to take advantage of all the great deals and all the latest pieces of electronics and ice fishing equipment. November 8th through the 10th, Sioux Falls Arena and Convention Center. If you have any questions about the report or about the ice show, feel free to give us a call at 605-336-9132. Well, folks, that's this week's version of the 2-Minute Fishing Report for Dakota Angler. I'm the owner, Todd Heitkamp, and as we say around here, fish on! We'll see you next week. And again, thanks for watching, folks, and we greatly appreciate it. Stay healthy and always stay safe.